Hello, I'm Mayor Matt Hayek. Each year we pick local, notable nonprofits to be highlighted on the Mayor's Notable Nonprofit Program. Nonprofits play a vital role in our community, from service organizations and charities to cultural organizations and foundations. Stay tuned for the Mayor's Notable Nonprofit to learn more about a local notable nonprofit working in our community.
I'm Andre Perry. I'm the executive director of the Englert Theatre in downtown Iowa City on Washington Street. The theater's been around for 98 years. It began as a vaudevillian house and later became a movie theater and shut down as a movie theater. And around the turn of the century into the 2000s, there was an effort put together by the folks of Iowa City to keep the theater as a historic building and make it a venue that could be used by the community and also bring in regional and national acts. Reopened in 2004, has been on the ground and running for 6 years now, and it hosts all sorts of entertainment, from lecturers to musical theater to music to everything you can think of. The Englert Theatre is definitely a special place because, one, it is downtown, and two, it's just a beautiful space that can be used for several things. If you have a huge show, you can pack in the seats and bring in, some act that's a local act, whether it's, often will be a musical theater sort of thing or community theater. But then also, it can be for smaller events, have acts on the stage, have events on the stage, have community organizations do presentations in the gallery. So I think it's just a very versatile space, and it's very convenient, and it's very beautiful, and so I think it makes it, very attractive, for community events. The theater has a capacity of 732 seats, and that's reserve seating. But sometimes we also do general mission shows where the capacity will bump up. I think it's something like 856, closer to 900. And the difference there is that, some events, if you have maybe an older crowd, or if you have a theater event, people want to sit down, they want to have the seat, that's been assigned to them. And then you get some of the kind of more ruckus like bands that are, super loud and rock and roll, and people do not want to be assigned a seat. They want to be able to flow around as they may. So it is kind of like a vacillating number, and it just kind of depends on the event that we're having. And then we also have a gallery space, which is upstairs on the second floor of the theater. And that is a smaller, more intimate space. We always have art hanging up in there, and often people come there for receptions, or maybe a small lecture, or a group will get together and just have like a quick meeting there. So that is also, it's a smaller space, and also still nice, but definitely a little quieter than I guess being in the big theater space. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and always have been, and definitely sponsorships and donations are a major part of keeping the theater on its feet. We do generate a lot of revenue through ticket sales, though a lot of those ticket sales go right back to the artists, especially when we're dealing with the big productions or the national acts. Just cost a lot of money to kind of make those events happen. And so a lot of the money that comes in goes right back out. And so it's really essential to have, the community donations. And those donations come in several forms. Sometimes it'll be grants, and sometimes it will be really small donations adding up, just a lot of people giving money, and then sometimes it'll be, just kind of a big sponsor will come in for, part of the season, or for one big show, or, over the year. But that stuff is really important, and it's also really important so that we can do some of the community stuff, that, that we can cover the production costs, that maybe community theater can't afford. So we can get them in there, and that's really important to us to, not only have the big stuff from out of town coming in, but also have the stuff that's here on the ground. There are a lot of ways to volunteer at the theater, and there are a lot of people volunteering already, and it's awesome, and that's another thing that keeps us going. We have a lot of people who work the shows, they're ushers, they're keeping, the flow of traffic going, going smoothly during a show. And a lot of people who are out there in the streets putting up posters for us. We have people working, in our office who are helping out with the admin stuff. So there are a ton of ways to volunteer for the theater. We have a really great volunteer base, and the thing that I think that's so awesome about it is that there are people who are super young, maybe just into college, and then people who are also, like much older in the community. So there's this great kind of like demographic, this wide demographic of folks who are working with the theater. If you haven't been to the Englert Theatre, I would invite you to come out and just check out an event sometime. We at least we think that we have a really diverse, calendar of events there. So we're really trying to hit something for every kind of person that, lives in the area. And I think, a good way to start, if you don't want to go on one of those like big ticket shows, is to come to some of the free stuff, or, or some of the really cheap stuff. We have a totally free film series. We have events, intimate events that we do on our stage that, can be anywhere from $2 to maybe like $5. And so I think you can be introduced to the theater, without, putting a lot of money out of your pocket. Just walk in and just come to an event, and hopefully you'll like it. If you want to find out what's happening at the Englert, just go to our website. It's englert.org. You can log on there, and we have our whole calendar listed on our front page. And it's actually a really versatile calendar. We have kind of maybe 3 or 4 different types of events that will happen in a season. Our main seasons are the fall season and the spring season, with kind of slower things happening in the winter and the summer. We have a whole series of shows that we present that are usually going to be big theater productions, are going to be big music concerts, and then we also have some smaller things we do, like our film series that runs, and we also have smaller shows that we do on the stage. And in addition to all of that, we invite friends to come in and produce shows in the theater as well. And so you'll see folks like Hansher, presenting shows in the theater. We have friends who are out of state who, come and want to promote and present shows. And so it's a really versatile calendar. Just get online, www.englert.org, and check it out.
Community voice. I do what city is. I do what city is. I do what city is. I do what city is.